In a world where truth is often stranger than fiction, we're here to uncover the mind-bending facts that will leave you speechless. Get ready to challenge your perception of reality with FactFrenzy. From the utterly bizarre to the seemingly impossible, join us as we explore the facts that sound fake, but are totally real. Number 1. The world's 8 billion people represent just 0.01% of all living things, according to the study. Yet since the dawn of civilization, humanity has caused the loss of 83% of all wild mammals and half of plants, while livestock kept by humans abounds. Number 2. Wind turbines have long garnered scrutiny for killing birds that fly into their spinning blades or tall towers. Much of the data about bird deaths at wind facilities in the United States comes from studies published in 2013 and 2014. Those studies gave a wide range for the number of birds that die in wind turbine collisions each year, from 140,000 up to 679,000. The numbers are likely to be higher today, because many more wind farms have been built in the past decade. Interestingly, painting one of the blades of a wind turbine black can reduce bird deaths by 70%. Number 3. The global photo count is rising swiftly due to the accessibility of digital cameras and camera phones. Today, more pictures are taken every 2 minutes than were taken throughout the 1800s. It is estimated that 10% of all photos ever taken were taken in the last 12 months. Number 4. A day on Venus is longer than a year. It takes Venus longer to rotate once on its axis than to complete one orbit of the Sun. That's 243 Earth days to rotate once, the longest rotation of any planet in the solar system. And only 224.7 Earth days to complete an orbit of the Sun. Number 5. Roller coasters were invented to distract Americans from sin. LaMarcus Adna Thompson, an American inventor and businessman, saw an opportunity to create an alternative form of wholesome entertainment that would keep people away from gambling, drinking, and other morally questionable activities. In 1884, he introduced the world to the first roller coaster called the Switchback Railway at Coney Island, New York. Number 6. There are more tigers in captivity than in the wild in the USA alone. There are more tigers in zoos and private parks, about 5,000, than in the wild combined, only about 3,000. But don't worry, lots of groups are fighting to save wild tigers. Number 7. A million seconds is about 11 days, a billion seconds is about 32 years. A million might sound like a lot. If you counted to a million, it would take you about a week. But the really crazy thing is how big a billion is, because if you counted to a billion, it would take over 30 years. Number 8. The first computer bug ever discovered was an actual bug. On September 9, 1947, the world's first computer bug was recorded. But this was no ordinary software bug. It was a real-life moth that was causing the issues with the computer's hardware. This first actual case of bug being found was recorded by computer scientist Grace Hopper. Number 9. Unicorns have been linked to Scotland for centuries. In Celtic mythology, the unicorn was a symbol of purity and innocence, as well as masculinity and power. Tales of dominance and chivalry associated with the unicorn may be why it was chosen as Scotland's national animal. Number 10. Did you know the inventor of the microwave appliance received only $2 for his discovery? Percy Spencer was working as a researcher for American appliance company, now Raytheon, when he noticed that radar set using electromagnetic waves melted the candy bar in his pocket. He had the idea to make a metal box using microwaves to heat food. But the company was the one to file the patent. That was in 1945, and he received a $2 bonus but never any royalties. If you like what I'm doing, you can support me by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel with the bell. Thank you. Number 11. During World War II, the London Zoo management made the decision to kill out all poisonous and dangerous species to prevent them from escaping in case the park was bombed. Number 12. It's no secret that all sorts of bugs and other nasties are used in the cosmetics industry. However, did you know in many lipstick brands there are crushed fish scales? Most commonly herring to give an extra shine. Number 13. Those of you who have pet cats will know that their urine glows very slightly in the dark, and when exposed to UV light it glows. The reason for this is small amounts of phosphorus. If you have a cat and shine a UV lantern at your place, you will be surprised at the places it has done its job. Number 14. Anyway, speaking of cats, did you know that there are 32 muscles located around each of their ears? It is due to them that the ear is able to move in any direction 180 degrees and separate from each other. Number 15. When sitting at a table, the ancient Romans always dropped a piece of toasted bread into their wine, as a sign of health and well-being. It is believed that it is this tradition that gave birth to the modern cheers, as we say, and knocking with glasses. Number 16. The longest walking route between the two locations is between the city of Magadan in Russia and Cape Town in South Africa. It, dear friends, is about 22,500 kilometers. The journey can be accomplished without using a car, plane, or sailing. But so far no man has done it. Maybe you will be the first, who knows? Number 17. Did you know that even on the moon there are earthquakes? And again, that's not the right word, it's more like a moonquake. These quakes are mainly produced by the gravitational pull between the moon and Earth, but are significantly weaker than the ones here. However, the lack of atmosphere makes them more prolonged. Number 18. In Japan, there are over 200 types of Kit Kat, which are created specifically for different cities in regions and even seasons. Some of them usually sound like bananas, blueberries, and cheesecake. Other Kit Kats, however, include flavors such as roasted potato, vegetable, wasabi juice, and melon. Number 19. An official Harvard study confirms that potato chips are the most fattening food. The fats and carbohydrates in it are almost not absorbed by the human body as energy, but directly accumulated as fat. Number 20. Did you know eagles once bankrupted an entire scientific study? Russians attached SMS transmitters to the legs of 13 steppe eagles, and they had to text their location over a period of time. However, the eagles flew to Iran, where roaming is $2 per SMS. The expedition did not take this into account and left. So in 5 months, the eagles sent SMS worth $100,000, which had to be paid from the budget of this study. Number 21. Did you know that until the 18th century many people thought tomatoes were poisonous? And the reason will surprise you? People then consumed them mostly from tin plates which were made of tin and lead. The acid in the tomatoes caused a reaction with these metals, and so people were poisoned with lead. Number 22. After only 175 million years, a day on Earth will finally be 25 hours. We will be able to sleep a little more. We just have to wait. One day, it will come. Number 23. If someone hits you lethally with a sniper, then you will be dead before you ever hear the shot. This happens because the speed of sound is 343 meters per second, and the speed of the bullet is 760 meters per second. Number 24. NASA's Parker Solar Probe has once again broken its own record for being the fastest man-made object ever. The history-making craft reached a ferocious 635,266 kilometers per hour as it continues its mission hurtling around the sun, but is expected in 2025 to even better that record by going past again at 700,000 kilometers per hour. Number 25. In 1994, there was an accident in Los Angeles that left the entire city without power. Dozens of calls came to the emergency number from people reporting seeing a strange glow in the night sky. It turned out that these American brothers actually saw the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, but didn't know exactly what it was, so they decided to call and complain. Number 26. Did you know you can actually taste the garlic in your mouth through your feet? Seriously, if you want to try it, rub a few garlic cloves on the sole of your foot, crush them, close them nicely with plastic wrap, and within an hour you will start to really feel the taste of garlic inside your mouth. This phenomenon has a scientific explanation, and it is called the molecule allicin, which penetrates through the skin, enters the bloodstream, and so reaches the taste buds of the mouth. That is why we actually start to taste and smell the garlic, and not because our feet have taste buds. Number 27. In some fire trucks in Europe and the States, they add special chemicals that make the water wetter, as strange as it sounds. With them, it spreads better and covers surfaces more easily. Number 28. Thanks to the 3D printers located on the International Space Station, NASA can email them tools. They just drop their project into an attachment or app and the astronauts print it out. Number 29. Supposedly the shortest correspondence ever was between Victor Hugo and his publisher. The writer was on holiday when his book Les Miserables came out in 1862. Curious to find out what people's reaction was, he sent a telegram with only a question mark symbol to avoid paying much. However, his publisher was also stingy and returned only one exclamation point, which however was a symbol of the success of the book. Number 30. Speaking of books, did you know that the first cover of Lord of the Rings has nothing to do with the content of the book? In 1965, Barbara Remington was the artist responsible for the cover. But she hadn't read a single word of the book. So as you can see, the picture contains a frog, a lizard, 2 emu birds, what the heck, and a tree with pink pears. Despite this mistake, however, the book was published. Because they thought no one would buy it anyway. That's a wrap on another mind-bending journey through the realm of astonishing facts with FactFrenzy. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep discovering more mind-blowing truths, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to FactFrenzy for your regular dose of knowledge. Remember, the world is full of wonders waiting to be explored, so stay curious and keep seeking the truth.